What's happening, my people? This is Tim Dodd with the Tim Dodd Show, and today I'm going to share with you how to get social media management clients. Whether you're looking to get to your first $10,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000, $200,000 a month, or you're looking to get into that $1 million plus a month mark, I'm going to show you how to do that today. And we're not just blowing smoke or building courses and selling to people. We actually run an agency that's helping companies get 6 figures, 7 figures, and even tens of millions of dollars in revenue every month by helping them get appointments and convert those appointments into clients. But before I do that, before I go through and show you how to do it, make sure to subscribe and then click that bell so every time I drop a hot one on you, you're the first one to hear about it. I don't want you missing out, so make sure to do it right now. Again, my name is Tim Dodd, and I actually run an agency called Pima. We're the marketing company that marketing companies hire when they're looking to scale. And when I started Pima, we were only charging $9.97 a month, and we got to 80 clients pretty quick, so not too bad, right? Well, let me show you the shit that's happened over the years, and what's very important is that now we have clients paying us $50,000 or even $100,000 plus every month to help them get appointments, warm those appointments up, and help their sales team convert those. Why do they keep spending more and more money with us? Because we're getting results. Why does that matter? Who cares about the year? This is not about me. This is about, if you want to learn how to scale, you want to learn from people that are actually doing it, not just talking about doing it. And so stay till the end, because I'm going to pull back the blindfolds on what separates the 5-figure struggling agency, the person barely making it, to the 6-figure, to the 7-figure, and then really what the 8-figure agencies are doing that are absolutely crushing it. And at the very end, I'm going to walk you through how you can accelerate your growth no matter where you're at. So stay to the end. Let's talk about what these struggling agencies are doing wrong, and then we're going to go into what the big agencies are doing right, because it's important you know both. So struggling agencies, number one, are doing their niche wrong. There's two sides to this. Either they're going to be too general in their niche. They can target anyone and everyone, and they can help anyone do any of their social media or SEO or Google or all. I'm the one-stop shop for your marketing. No, you're a 1-person, 2-person, 3-person, 4-person company. You cannot do everything well. Even the big companies cannot do everything well. So you do have to be specific. On the other side, the problem that I see with the niche is that they are overly specific. They do not have realistic expectations of who they could target. So they're not going to the platform, whether they're doing LinkedIn outreach or Facebook or wherever they're getting it, they're not going to the platform to see what can I target. They're creating a target, and then they're trying to force those targets into the platform. And it just ends up not working out very well whatsoever. What you need to do is create multiple personas that you can help out, and then create a journey map. Let me explain this. So if I'm talking to an agency that's doing, say, less than 10K a month, I have a product I can sell them. So let's say under. I have a product that I can help them scale to doing, let's say, 50K a month. So I'm going to actually sell them a product here, Persona 1. I can actually sell them a product here that leads them to my Persona 2. And then I have somebody doing, 100K plus a year, all the way up to somebody that's doing, over 10 million a year. So I can keep scaling people. Persona 3, I'm gonna have a Persona 4 here, 4, and then this is my Persona 5. I have a client right now that's doing over $300 million a year. I didn't start with this, but what you want to understand is where customers are at in their journey. You want to create personas based off of this, not based off of do they like dogs or cats or what's their mindset or any of that. You want to figure out what you can target in the platforms. Then you create personas like this, so that whether you meet somebody doing under 10K or over 50K or 100K or they're doing 500K or they're doing 10 million, you have a persona for each one of those categories, and I can sell a Persona 1 a product that will get them to 50K. Once they're at 50K, I can sell this person a product that'll get them to 100K. Once I sell this person, I can bring them to $1 million. I can bring them to 10 million. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay out a customer journey of how can I help person at each point create a product that can get them to the next point. So ultimately I could get somebody in the long path where I'm getting them in, I'm selling them maybe a training course or a mentorship program here, then I'm selling a done for you service here, then I'm building out a sales team for him here, and I'm going all the way through so I can make money and give value from whether they're any persona. So when I meet them, I will know very quickly what persona they fit in, what product, what offer I have to offer them. Second, the struggling agency is not willing to invest in their own client acquisition. So if you cannot justify investing in your growth, you're going to struggle convincing others to invest in their growth because you don't believe it. You don't believe in the value of outsourcing or paying for customers to grow your company. You're not going to be able to convince other people to spend money with you. So you're gonna always struggle, you're always gonna be stuck. And let me give you an example. Recently I had invested $40,000 to be a part of a mentorship program to help us grow and scale. And I was willing to invest that. My mindset was in the right place. After we had done that, the first person I meet inside this group happens to have 300 sales reps. We start a good conversation, and now we're in the process of giving a bid to fill up the calendar of 300 sales reps. Because I was mentally willing to pay to be in the room, I was now able to give bids to these high-level people. So it's so important that you get over your own mind set about money, because whatever your thermostat is, like if you set your thermostat in your room to 75 degrees, if it gets too hot or too cold, it's gonna bring it back to 75 or 70, wherever you put it at. If your money mindset is that, oh my gosh, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $20,000, that's a lot of money to spend on myself. All those numbers that you're saying that's too much money or that's a lot of money, you're going to project that onto your prospects. So very, very important to get your mindset right there. So third is that you're treating prospects like referrals. You see, when you get a referral, you're getting a person that's interested in your service that's coming pre-built with trust. When you're getting a prospect, you're getting somebody who's interested, but they don't trust you yet. You haven't built that trust. So a lot of times what agencies will do is they go from getting a couple referrals, then they try to get some appointments, some leads, and they go, these are so cold. They're horrible. And I'm a good closer, man. I've closed 50% of the deals. The reason why you're closing so many deals from your referrals is because they came pre-built with trust. And there's more to it. Like 50% of all deals will go to the first person they talk to. Oftentimes, the referral coming to you, you're the first and maybe only person they're talking to. When you're going out into the world to sell your products and services, that prospect is probably talking to 3, 4, 5 other people. So now you're competing with other people and you cannot match them. And so you say those leads aren't warm because of your lack of sales. So I'm not trying to be hard on you here. What I'm just saying is if you want to get to that next level, you're going to have to get very serious about mastering your sales process, building up your sales skills, because if you don't, you're always going to be stuck in that place of feast and famine. And I don't want you to stay there. It's not a fun place to be. It's not where you want to be 10 years from now. You want to scale up. I mean, the reason why you're watching this video, I'm guessing, is you want to scale up. So that's a big thing you have to get over. Okay, enough yelling at you. Look, I'm a very positive guy. I just wanted to share the pitfalls that I want you to avoid, because I don't want you to do the same thing. I've talked to thousands of marketing agencies that they do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So the next part I'm going to talk to you about is what do the big agencies do that makes them successful. All right, so I'm gonna get on the whiteboard here for you. So the number one thing that successful agencies are doing is they're focused on selling. Their number one goal is to bring in new customers. Why do you think that is? Of course, because money, more generation. But there's a lot more to it than that. You see, when you have customers flowing into your business, they're gonna tell you what they like, what they don't like. You're gonna be able to hire more people, refine your product. The more flow you have of new customers coming into your business, the quicker you can iterate your product, the better you can make your product, the stronger you can make your product. And when you keep that focus on the number one focus on getting new customers not only are you getting a better and better product, but you're scaling faster and faster. That's why you'll see companies and agencies, they'll tell you like, hey, I've got this one hack that I used and I made in 3 months, I went from $10,000 to $100,000 a month. That's because they were actually working and building. These stories are true. These stories are very true. A lot of them are true. But what they don't tell you is all that work that they were doing to build up to that, and then they hit that hockey stick growth. That's what happens when you are focused 100% on selling, is that you're building up that machine, you're building that foundation, and then once you hit a certain point, you're going to be able to scale because your company is built to grow fast. And as you're growing fast, you're actually getting feedback from your customers. So small agencies, on the other hand, they're focused on like, how do I tweak my analytics? How do I get a better product? How do I tweak these ads? And yes, you want to deliver like crazy for your client. But if your whole day, if 80% of your day is spent in there on the client account, tweaking things, and 20% is maybe spent on other stuff, maybe 5 or 10% spent on getting clients, you're never going to hit that hockey stick growth. You're going to always struggle. You're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. And guess what? Your competitor is going to come by and boom, knock you down because they're going to take your customers and they're going to have a better product because they're iterating faster. They're getting feedback from their customers. Next, successful agencies map out that customer journey. Remember what I told you. If I have a persona, if I have somebody that's making 10K a month, I have persona 1. I might sell them they might be doing 10K a month. I have a product to sell them. These big agencies have a product. Persona 2, they have something to sell them. Let's just call this 100K a month. They have something to sell this person. They have something to sell Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5. Because every room that you step in, you need to be able to add value to each person. If you're only focused on this persona, when you step into a room, you get in a meeting, you're running a funnel, you're gonna lose all of these. So when I step into a room, when I'm talking to somebody, I know if they're persona 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in my company, and what I need to sell them to help them. This is not about just taking their money. This is about saying, hey, if I can get money from persona 1, I can bring them to persona 2, persona 3, persona 4, persona 5, and I can grow with them. And guess what? As you grow with persona 1 to persona 2, they're going to keep spending more and more money. That's why I'll have clients that'll jump on with us at $15,000 a month. Then they'll jump to $25,000 a month, a few months later. Then they'll jump up to $50,000, $100,000, because I'm bringing them from one persona to another persona, so they're able to grow. I'm able to grow with them. The third part is that these successful agencies, they have a system in place to predictably buy customers. So they will focus on one channel until they get it to work. Then they will scale that channel to its limits. Once that channel is scaled to its limits, or they're starting to scale that channel, they'll start working on another channel. And then they'll get that channel to work. Once it's working, they'll scale it, and they'll keep layering channel on top of channel on top of channel on top of channel. On the other side, what the struggling agencies do is they try a channel. They don't stick with it long enough to get it to work. Then they jump to the next channel. Here's how it goes. If you've ever heard anyone say this or yourself say this, then you know that you are in that struggling agency and you need to break this pattern. I tried Facebook ads, it didn't work. I tried LinkedIn outreach, it didn't work. I tried cold calling, it didn't work. I tried email marketing, it didn't work. I tried Facebook ads, it didn't work. I tried Google ads, it didn't work. I tried insert anything and it didn't work. And you are stuck in one of those patterns that these struggling agencies are stuck in, jumping from one thing to the next, but never sticking with it long enough to actually make it successful. You see, every single one of those channels is working for another social media marketing or digital marketing agency right now very well. LinkedIn, for instance, we are getting thousands of bookings every single month for our team and for our clients. We're making a crazy amount of money on it for our team and for our clients. That's why our clients are willing to spend $50,000, $100,000 plus with us every month, is because they're getting results. So if you've ever found yourself saying, I tried LinkedIn, didn't work, tried Facebook, didn't work, Google ads, didn't work, that means you're jumping from one thing to the next, waiting for some kind of magic thing to happen, where the reality is It's tough to get customers. It is a very difficult process that if you do not stick with it long enough, you'll never crack the code. So I do suggest for any social media marketing agency to start on LinkedIn, because you're gonna be able to get the most amount of bookings for your time, your money, your energy. If you don't like cold calling is another great strategy. If you don't like cold calling, I highly suggest LinkedIn, especially, I don't know when you're watching this, but the May 2021 change, if you know what you're doing, you're gonna get a lot of results from LinkedIn. So let's jump into this next part. So now that you know what the struggling agencies that are stuck in that feast or famine pattern are doing wrong, now you know what the successful agencies are doing right, where they're getting a channel to work, sticking with it long enough, scaling it, getting another channel, scaling it, and they're layering channels. Let me talk to you about how you can accelerate your growth, whether you're doing, you don't have a customer, you're looking to get your first 10,000, you're looking to get your first $100,000 a month, you're looking to get your first $1 million a month, wherever you're at, let me show you how to scale up from where you're at. So the first thing you have to understand is that most businesses are gonna fall into two categories. So either they're going to be one, a flow business, and you've known these businesses where they are really good at getting customers, but they're bad at keeping customers. So there's always new customers flowing in and flowing out, flowing in, flowing out. So they kind of grow fast and then they clip off, because you can only grow so fast until you're losing more customers than you're keeping. So it clips off. And I've ran an agency like that. The first time I built an agency to $1 million a month, it just like hit here and we couldn't keep clients because I didn't know how to build the right systems and structures. That's a topic for another day, but I've done this. So I'm not just talking out of my rear end. I had a company like this. Now the next kind of company that you're gonna have, which is the most common, generally speaking, is a retention company. So what this company does is they don't have any flow. They're basing their business off of referrals, but they do a good job for their clients. And so they're keeping their clients for a long time. And so they'll have 3, 4, 5 clients and they have them for 2, 3, 4 years, and they're kind of hoping that referrals come. But I'm guessing the very fact that you're on this video, that you don't want to be a flow or a retention company. You want to be an exceptional company. You want to have both flow and you want to have retention. And that's the goal, because every exceptional company actually has 3 things. So exceptional, you have to have number 1, and this is the order of priority, is you have to have flow. That's the number 1 rule for an exceptional company, is that you have to have a flow of new prospects and potential customers coming in. Number 2 is you have to have conversion. This is sales. What are you doing to warm up your leads? What are you doing to close those leads? What are your sales scripts? What are your sales automations? So number 1, you have your pipeline being filled with appointments like we're doing for our clients. Number 2, your sales team is actually converting those into customers. And then guess what? Number 3 is where you add in the retention piece. And now you have an exceptional company that can keep scaling, because you're actually keeping your clients, you actually have enough flow, you actually have enough conversions. See, most people will only focus on one of these: flow, conversion, or retention. The most common is to either be a flow or a retention company, but to be exceptional, you have to have all 3 of these. So lead generation, marketing, your flow, that should be your number 1 priority. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever lost a client and it hurt? Like it negatively affected your company financially? That's because you didn't have enough people in the pipeline flowing into your business that you're okay with a little bit of customer loss. Even the best of companies are gonna lose customers. You're gonna have customers that leave because you're getting them too much results. I've had that, where we took too small of a company, gave them too much results, and they left because it was an overwhelm and it actually hurt them. So you're gonna have customers leave even if you're doing a good job. That's just gonna happen. So you need flow coming in. The next part is, like, have you ever had, like, you've got a deal that you're working, and man, if this one deal closes, the whole game's gonna change for you. If you have so little flow that you're reliant on that one deal, you're probably gonna blow those deals as they come. What I want to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. I want to have 50 deals in my pipeline. I want to have 100 deals in my pipeline that I've been following up with, that I've been chatting with, that I've been working. For me and my team, I want everyone on my team to have lots of deals that they're working because they have flow coming in that, yes, if that deal closes, great, man, we got another customer. But if it doesn't, it's okay because we got more in our pipeline. So flow is your number one goal. If you're not investing in your flow to at least 20 to 30% of your revenues into your flow, then you're gonna struggle to get the rest right. So the second part obviously is gonna be conversion. You need to make sure you have the right sales process, the right scripts, the right training in place. That's what we do for our clients is we'll actually work with their sales teams on top of getting them appointments. We work with their sales teams to create the conversion. And then obviously third, that retention is incredibly important. So again, marketing, flow is your number one priority, but you have to have all three: flow, conversion, retention. Like, do a great freaking job for your clients. Like, blow it out of the water for them so much, like we're able to do, where I can bring them from persona 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 because you're getting them good results. They will spend more and more and more money with you as you get them results at every single level. It's an incredibly profitable way to do things, but flow has to be your number one priority. So the next question is, how much should I invest? And I've already kind of dropped hints at it here a little bit, but the reality is most companies are going to invest 20 to 30% of their revenue back into the marketing and sales. So let's just say you're doing $5,000 in business a month. Like, it's not much, but hey, good for you. You know, you've got things started. That's going to be $1,000 to $1,500. Now, I'm going to be very, very candid with you. Unless you have enough marketing budget to justify, write all these numbers down, please. If you need 20 to 30% of your revenue should be spent on getting customers, marketing, flow. Now, if that budget does not match at least $5,000 to $10,000 a month, I highly suggest you do not outsource that yet. Once you get to where you're spending $5,000 to $10,000 a month on your marketing, on your flow, then you can start outsourcing. If 20 to 30% of your revenue is less than $5,000, you should be doing the flow in-house. And I actually have some resources down low that's gonna show you how to do that on a whole nother level, and we'll get into some more detail about that. So the biggest question is then, how much should I invest in my flow? How much should I be investing in my marketing? And the reality is, like, that's going to be different depending on your situation. Kind of a general rule of thumb is that you're going to be spending about 20 to 30% of your revenue on flow, on getting new customers in. Aggressive companies are going to spend more than that. I will spend more on that to grow my agency, but kind of normal numbers would be 20 to 30%. So, you know, whether you're doing 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, $1 million a month, you can use this as a pretty good equation. So, like, let's just say you're doing $10,000 a month. $2,000 to $3,000 of your revenue should be going into growing your clients. If you're taking the seed, which is your money, and eating it, you're making bread and you're eating it, you're eating all 10,000 of that dollars, you're never gonna grow. You need to take 20 to 30% of your seed, your money, and plant that into getting new customers so you can have more seed and more growth. So 20 to 30%, 10K is gonna be $2,000 to $3,000. Now, I'm also gonna go into when should you do this in-house, invest in-house, make this happen in-house versus when should I start outsourcing. And what we've found is when you're doing outsourcing, you want to be able to invest about $5,000 to $10,000 a month minimum. That's why we actually don't take on any monthly clients for less than $5,000, just because we've noticed at $5,000 plus, we're generally getting incredible results for clients. $5,000 and below, the results are harder to get an ROI a lot of times because an agency does not yet have the internal systems needed to actually handle the leads, handle the sales. They think they do because they're closing referrals, but they don't. And so if you're under that $5,000 a month that you're able to spend on marketing, totally fine. What you want to do is you want to build that in-house, because that's going to teach you how to do it, how to create sales systems, how to create flow in your business, so that now when you outsource it, you'll be able to manage it on a very, very high level. So let's say you're already making 50K, 100K, 500K, over $1 million a month in business. Remember the formula: flow, conversion, retention. You're constantly working on these things. They're constantly cycling. You're going, how can I get more channels? You know, let's say you're already using a bunch of channels. Maybe you haven't used LinkedIn yet, or maybe you're using LinkedIn, but you're not getting 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 bookings a month. You know, add LinkedIn to one of your channels. If you're not using Facebook or Google yet, add those to your channels. But you want to add more channels here. But you also want to make sure you don't forget to work on your conversions. How can we get a little higher conversion? How can we, like at Pima, we actually set up automations that warm up appointments before the call so that we have a higher conversion rate. We have all kinds of processes to help with that conversion. So number 2, you want to work on your conversion. So you're increasing your percentage of conversions. And then number 3, you want to keep developing what we call inventory and personas, so you have more inventory to sell each persona, so that not only do you keep your clients, but you have more valuable products to sell them, and you keep repeating this cycle over and over and over. You create a flow channel, you get that flow channel working, you get your conversion metrics optimized very, very well. Then you learn what's next, what can I sell them next, how can I keep them longer, how can I get more lifetime value, and then you go back to what's another channel I can add, how can I increase conversions. And as you do that more and more and more, you're gonna start finding that this momentum, as you keep expanding, actually all of these channels will work together. So whether you don't have any customers, you have 10,000 a month, 100,000 a month, $1 million a month, 10 million a month, this process works very well. So if you're a small person, number 1, get your flow going. And if you're spending less than 5K a month, get that going in-house. I have some free resources for you down below. Make sure to check those out. Okay, so now that you know the pitfalls, now that you know what the big agencies are doing, and now you know how to accelerate your growth with flow, conversion, and retention, the next step, if you're doing, say, less than 5,000 marketing spend, is to build out the flow system and conversion system in-house and master that in-house. I have a free resource for you down low that's gonna show you how to get your calendar filled. It works incredibly well. I'm also gonna show you how to get those appointments warmed up before the call, and I'm even gonna show you how to convert them. Now, let's say you're doing 5K, 10K, 50K, 100K or more in your marketing spend every month, and you're looking to get a flood of new bookings from a new channel, from more channels, and increase your conversion rates, and potentially even talk about adding more inventory. Let me know. I have a resource for you in the description below as well. Again, this is Tim Dodd with the Tim Dodd Show. Make sure to like, comment. I will reply to your comments. Make sure to subscribe and then click that bell. I'll see you on the inside.